Before there was an empire that ruled the known world, before marble cities and marching legions, there were two brothers, abandoned by fate, raised by a wolf, and destined to change human history forever. This is the story of Rome, a civilization that refused to die. The legend of Romulus and Remus. According to ancient Roman lore, the twin brothers Romulus and Remus were born of royal blood, grandsons of Numitor, the rightful king of Alba Longa, a city that traced its lineage back to Aeneas, the Trojan hero who escaped the burning city of Troy. But power, as always, bred envy. Numitor's jealous brother, Amulius, seized the throne, killing Numitor's sons and forcing his daughter, Rhea Silvia, to become a Vestal virgin, sworn to never bear children. Yet the gods, it seemed, had other plans. Rhea Silvia was visited, so legend says, by Mars, the god of war. From that divine union came the twins, Romulus and Remus. When Amulius discovered the infants, he ordered them thrown into the Tiber River to drown. But destiny is stronger than kings. The river overflowed, gently carrying the basket to the foot of the Palatine Hill. There a she-wolf, the Lupa, discovered the crying infants. She nursed them, watched over them, until a shepherd named Faustulus found them and raised them as his own. Years later, the twins discovered their true heritage. They killed Romulus, restored their grandfather Numitor, and decided to build a new city near the place of their rescue. But the brothers clashed over who should rule and where the city should stand. In a burst of rage and fate, Romulus killed Remus, declaring himself the sole founder. He named the city after himself, Rome. It was 753 BCE, and history had just been born. The rise of the Roman kings. Rome began as a tiny settlement of huts on the Palatine Hill, a small village among 7 hills. Yet, from the beginning, it carried a sense of destiny. Romulus became its first king, establishing laws, dividing citizens, and creating the Roman Senate, a council of elders that would outlast kingdoms and emperors alike. Under the early kings, Rome grew, both in strength and ambition. Romulus built the foundation of Rome's military might. The second king, Numa Pompilius, brought religion, laws, and the sacred calendar. The third, Tullus Hostilius, expanded Rome through war. The fourth, Ancus Marcius, built bridges and harbors, connecting Rome to trade and the sea. Then came Tarquinius Priscus, the first Etruscan king, who began monumental works, temples, sewers, and the foundations of the Forum, the beating heart of Roman life. But power again bred corruption. The last king, Tarquinius Superbus, Tarquin the Proud, ruled with tyranny and cruelty. His son's crime, the assault of the noblewoman Lucretia, sparked a revolution that would change everything. The people rose, the kings were cast out, and from the ashes of monarchy, the Roman Republic was born. The birth of the Republic. It was 509 BCE. For the first time in history, Rome was ruled not by kings, but by citizens, or at least by those considered worthy to call themselves citizens. The Romans built a system unlike any before it, a delicate balance of power designed to prevent tyranny. 2 consuls ruled together, elected annually, commanding armies and governing the state. A senate of patricians advised them, shaping law and policy, and assemblies of citizens, though limited to the elite, gave a sense of representation. The Republic was a living experiment, democracy wrapped in discipline. At its heart was the Roman idea of virtus, courage, duty, honor, and service to the state. Every Roman was taught that the Republic came first, that personal ambition must always bow to Rome's destiny. Yet, ironically, that same ambition would one day destroy it. War and expansion. In its early years, Rome fought for survival. Surrounded by rival tribes, Etruscans to the north, Sabines, Samnites, and Latins all around, it seemed an underdog destined to fall. But Rome had something no one else did: discipline. Every defeat became a lesson, every loss a reason to rebuild. The Roman army, the legion, was unlike any force before it. Citizen soldiers, organized, trained, and loyal not to a king, but to an idea. They built roads as they marched, left fortresses where they camped, and turned conquered enemies into allies through strategy as much as steel. By the 3rd century BCE, Rome had united all of Italy. The Punic Wars, Rome versus Carthage. But unity brought new enemies, none greater than Carthage, a powerful city-state across the Mediterranean in modern-day Tunisia. Wealthy, cunning, and ruled by merchants, Carthage controlled the seas. The first great clash came in 264 BCE, the First Punic War. Rome, with almost no navy, built one from scratch. They added a secret weapon, the corvus, a boarding bridge, turning sea battles into land fights where Romans excelled. After 23 years, Rome won, but Carthage was far from finished. And from its defeat rose a name that still echoes through history: Hannibal Barca. In 218 BCE, during the Second Punic War, Hannibal did the impossible. He led 90,000 men and 37 war elephants over the Alps, invading Italy from the north. It was a march that defied nature. Snow, mountains, and starvation, yet Hannibal reached the Italian plains and destroyed Roman armies in battle after battle. At Cannae, he surrounded and annihilated nearly 50,000 Romans in a single day, one of the greatest military victories ever recorded. Rome trembled, but did not fall. Instead, it adapted. Rome avoided direct battles, wore Hannibal down, and struck Carthage itself. Under the brilliant general Scipio Africanus, the Romans defeated Hannibal at the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE. Carthage was destroyed, and Rome became the master of the Mediterranean. The empire before the empire. By the 2nd century BCE, Rome was unstoppable. Its legions marched across Spain, Greece, and Asia Minor. Its wealth exploded, its culture flourished, yet within, cracks began to show. The republic that had once been founded on equality was becoming an empire in all but name. The Senate grew corrupt, the rich richer, and the poor forgotten. Generals began to wield more power than the politicians who commanded them. Among them rose names that would define destiny: Marius, Sulla, Pompey, and one man whose ambition would rewrite the world: Julius Caesar. Rome had conquered the world, but could it conquer itself? To be continued in Part 2, The Rise of Power, Caesar, the Republic, and the Road to Empire.